Hello, and welcome to Trinity Teachings, Lesson 2.6, Books. Books are an essential tool in, Wicca, mainly just because, you can learn from them many things. The internet is a great tool too, but then again, books are sometimes best, but the one thing with books is that they're pretty expensive, in some cases. It just depends on where you find them. In my luck, I've always had the luck of people who actually have given me books. I got books from an old friend of mine. He gave me some. I got books from another old friend of mine before he moved. He gave me some. My fiance's ex-wife gave me all hers when she gave up Wicca, but she gave it up because, she's got some things and she just went through things. And she recently actually got back into it, but I tried to teach her, but that didn't well. Anyway, avoiding that one. Books come in many shapes and sizes on a variety of different subjects. First off, you can always use the internet, but sometimes books are best because, you always have it. You can buy them from many different occult stores. You can get them online. Let's see what else. You can, library, actually, an interesting thing. Many libraries in different places have a book lending system where you can lend books from library to library. Well, if you're in a small town like I am, you think, my library doesn't have those books. Well, you can always get them from other libraries. For example, I've got, I have all my books played out right here. I've got, 1, 2, 3, I think 3, 4 books. Yeah, about 4 books. With me at this exact moment that I have ordered from the library, which are on the subject. I've got, 2 Socket Spellbook, Complete Idiot's Guide to Wicca and Witchcraft, the Fortune Belly Book, Encyclopedia of Soothsaying and Divination, and all that. I'll show you them here in a minute, just in case. But this video, I'm going to tell you about, where you can find different books, because also you can find them at different, many different, secondhand stores, Goodwill. In fact, in some big cities, actually, in Goodwills and Salvation Armies, you might actually find books. It's quite possible. I know that means not think it's not possible. It actually is. And also, I might add, Wiccan books can become many shaped sizes. Not just actual books on Wicca, the subject. I mean, books on, the solar system, for astrology. If you're one of the astronomers and you focus on the stars and planets in that, or books on lore and myth, books on crystals, and books on mythical creatures, which is also part of lore and mythology. Herb books on herbology, books on spirits, ghosts, books on the burning times. I know it's not fun to read about, but then again, learning about the history is, for example, I have this book right here, I also found a library. Mind you, it's a historical telling of what was known back then. It's not true, but it's called Witchcraft at Salem. Basically about what happened at Salem. There are theories on, people's theories on what witches were like. Obviously, you can see what they thought witches were like right there. Receiving stuff from the devil right there, but it's things that went on there, basically. Anyway, let me continue. Let's see. First off, gotta move. I'll show you some of the mini books I've got. Let's see. This book right here is actually 3 books in one. Wicca, this book's a Guide for Solitary Practitioner by Scott Cunningham. Living Wicca by Scott Cunningham, which I also have the actual book for Living Wicca right here. And then the Complete Book of Incense, Oils, and Brews. So this is 3 books in one. Very useful. Book I got from the library called The Way of the Hedge Witch, Rituals and Spells for the Hearth and Home. That book is filled with some interesting rituals and stuff. Lower this a little bit. The book I was telling about the 3 books in one is actually very interesting. Let's see. It's got a general note. General teachings in the first book. Living Wicca tells you how to use Wicca in your everyday life, and, well, then oils and brews. Basically a list of stuff. Another book, which I might add also, these books I'm talking about, I suggest that you try to maybe find them. I mean, I got a lot of them also in the Wiccan group I've got. I've uploaded PDFs of these books, which is online books of them, so you can read these books without having to, well, I don't have all of them on there, but some, but the ones I could find. But this book I suggest is possible. The Wickening by Sister Moon, a step-by-step guide to becoming a modern witch. I might add, this is a very enlightening book. I actually really like this book. It's one of the ones I highly recommend, along with two others that I highly recommend. The Ultimate Book of Shadows for the New Generation, Solitary Witch by Silver Ravenwolf. This book is jam-packed, filled with, multitudes of things, from tarot to chakras to palmistry to invoking, devoking, learning how to write spells, astronomy, numerology. It's basically a giant general overview, but it's got a bit of in-depth on certain things. The Grimoire for the Apprentice Wizard by, I'm not sure how to pronounce this guy's name, Oberon Zell Ravenheart. I don't know, you can show it there, what it looks like, and who knows, maybe you'll find it. I like this book. It's filled with also general information. However, this one, unlike the other book, is more a skim overview. There's some in-depth things, but the other one is more of an in-depth if you want an in-depth. This is just a good way to, look into it. Also, I might add later on some videos. I've got videos on what I call the spectrum. I use a guide from this book on part of the spectrum video I did, along with certain other things, but that's for later. Let's see. This is another book which could help. Witchcraft, Theory and Practice. Another one which tells you how to, basically the theory of it, the practice of it, a lot of information. Still some in-depth things that could be helpful, like if you want to learn how to do like tarot or palmistry or word cunning. Some of those things you will have to find an actual book on, because some of these books aren't going to have a full way of doing it. This book right here, actually, The Completeness Guide to the Wicca and Witchcraft, I found this at my local library. It's by Denise Zimmerman and Catherine A. Gleason, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's actually a very informative book. It's basically breaks everything down, even dumbs it down a lot more than what I'm doing in some of these videos. So actually, it is a very good book. Also, I might add, in a lot of my videos I do take a lot from these books, and I'm putting it out there for a general view for you. So just to help, And let's see. Then I've got the Crystal Handbook. It's good for crystals, identifying, learning how to use them. Same things with any book, actually, on rocks and minerals, more rocks and minerals, minerals, rocks, and precious stones. Any books like that would be good for the gemologist to help identify them, or all that kind of stuff. Let's see. These books over here are for, this one's on sun and moon signs for astrologers. This one's a guide to stars and planets. And this one's about astronomy and the signs and the zodiac. Let's see. So that's helpful. A book, if you want to learn how to do tarot, this one I actually found at my local occult store back when I lived in my other town. The Rider-Waite Tarot deck is a very common deck and one of the most common ones you'll find. So if you want to learn how to do tarot, I suggest you find it. And in some kits, it comes with this book, Tarot for Dummies. It shows pictures of those cards, helps you learn how to do those cards, and good information. Basically, I will talk more in the actual tarot video I do later, divination, but this would be helpful for those. Let's see. This book, for those who want to learn herbals and stuff, the Herbal Magic book, in which the guide to herbal enchantment, folklore, and divination, is actually a very good book. It's actually got a lot of stuff about different plants in here, spells to do with them, a lot of references. A very good book for those who want that, especially a good reference inside. A book I suggest for some, actually, the Elemental Encyclopedia of Witchcraft. It's basically an A to Z on different things involving witchcraft, magic. Not just, actual magic, but like it's got a little paragraph on Sabrina in here. It's just a good information book. A good reference if you ever need a good reference. Judica Isles is the one who wrote this book. She also wrote the book, The Encyclopedia of 5,000 Spells. I suggest you find that book. It is a very good book. It's got tons of books. Some of them are listed just for historical accuracy. Some I suggest you do not do. It's got a lot of hexes and curses in it also, along with different spells for fertility, divination, you name it. There's a spell in there for it. For those who want to develop those psychic abilities, this one's actually a very good book on it. The Complete Guide to Psychic Development, 100 Ways to Tap into Your Psychic Potential by Cassandra Eason. I really do like this book. It's got a lot of information on it. It's got stuff on aura, divination, what else? Runes, chakras. It's just a very good book. What else? Oh, for those in the mythology and lore mastery and all that, there's many different books for you. Let's see. Some books just for knowledge. Let's see. That's like here is Bullfinch's Mythology, complete in one volume. It's got a lot of mythology and stuff in it. These two are Greek and Norse myth books. This one is on Roman Greek mythology. Edith Hamilton's Mythology. Actually, a very good book. In fact, a lot of classes in high school, mythology classes, which is actually where I got this from, my mythology class, is good for it. The Illustrated Book of Myths, Tales, and Legends of the World. I admit this one's kind of juvenile, but hey, it's actually a very good reference. Granted, it doesn't tell you in-depth things on them, but I admit it's still a very good reference. Okay. Funk and Ragnar's Standard Dictionary of Folklore, Mythology, and Legend. There are 2 of these books, volume 1 and 2. I have both volumes. I love these books. Actually have great reference material inside of them. So, yeah. The Fortune Telling Book, Encyclopedia of Divination and Soothsaying by Raymond Buckland. I forgot to mention, this is a good for those who want to learn divination, and actually any form of divination is in this book. Palmistry, a tarot reading. In fact, it even tells you how to do a lot of them. It's got a skim of tarot, of different card meaning. And actually, if you can't get by a tarot deck or you don't know how to find one, there's actually a way of reading the cards with normal playing cards. It talks about them in here, along with, there's 2 ways. One that uses only 36 cards, and one that uses all 52. So, I suggest this book for some of those people. I'll actually be doing a video on divination later talking about that, so just to let you know. Let's see. Oh, also for those who want to learn stuff about myth and legend and all that, some interesting books I've come across for learning about different mythical animals. The Encyclopedia of Fairies, different creatures are in here. Not every mythical creature, but a lot of the ones within the fairy and categories like that. And this one just a fancy encyclopedia. A lot of different creatures in here, from phoenix to hippogriff to mummies to poltergeists to generic witches. It's got some truth in it about the real ones. About mermaids, sea beings, minotaur, phoenix, griffin, dragon, you name it, it's in here. So, it's just, as I think I've made my point, there's different books of all sizes and shape, ranging on a different number of subjects. It actually depends on your interest. It also depends on whether or not you're going to be doing such things. Some of the ones I suggested are good for just general learning. As I said, like The Ultimate Book of Shadows, The New Generation, Solitary Witch by Sylvia Ravenwolf, a good book for general learning. This Witchcraft Theory and Practice by Lai D. Angelus. Another good book for general learning. Surprisingly, the Psychic Development book I talked about is actually good for general learning too, not just for those who want to learn psychic, be psychic in that. Wicca and Witchcraft, The Complete Idiot's Guide. Good for those who want to learn, who have literally no concept of it. The Wickening, a really good book for learning, I admit. I learned quite a bit from this, and I've been at this for several years. Let's see, any others? Oh, the Grandma for the Apprentice Wizard. Good book for overview learning. Let's see here. Living Wicca, good, but that's mainly if you already have a concept of it, but it's up to you. I don't have the actual book, but since this has it in here, the Wicca, A Guide to the Solitary Practitioner by Scott Cunningham, a very good book for, well, one who will be practicing alone, and if you have no knowledge, so that would be a good book to get a hold of. This book has those three, along with Living Wicca and that complete book. This actually, I'm not sure where you'd find this book, but it is a good book. It's got those three in it, but I know all three by Scott Cunningham. So, it's 3 books in one, so it is very good. You can always find them separately if need be, but yeah. Then there's The Craft, A Witch's Book of Shadows by Dorothy Morrison. A good book for another general learning. It's got some in-depth workings in it, but it's not one of the best. A Wiccan Bible. Now this is an interesting book by A.J. Drew. It's got a very interesting take on Wicca. I mean, I suggest you should read it, but I suggest you read other things too, because this guy's view is different than a lot of views I've seen. So just to let you know, and let me think. Oh, A Witch's Bible. It's a good reference book. I don't have a copy of it. I have a PDF of it, but it's a good book. That also I have to admit. I think I've been through this for everything right here. Another Complete Idiot's Guide. This one's to meditation. It's for those who, if you're going to learn meditation, psychic stuff like that. It's a good book for that. I just say I have tons of books on a variety of subjects. I'm one of those ones who knows the basis of everything, but the heights of, well, some things. Anyway, thank you for watching my lesson on books. They are great tools that I put. Several books I'll actually be talking about later in different videos when I get to some subjects involving them. So thank you for watching, and until next time, keep learning.